The gunshot cracked through the cathedral. Not outside, inside. Gasps tore through the crowd as Eleanor froze, mid-step, her wedding bouquet slipping from her fingers. White roses hit the marble floor and scattered. The Mafia boss, beside her, didn't flinch. Luca Moretti slowly turned his head toward the entrance, eyes cold, calculating. "Lower the gun," he said calmly. The man holding the weapon hesitated. His hand shook. Eleanor's heart slammed against her ribs. Not now, she thought. Not today. Luca leaned closer to her ear. His voice was barely a whisper. "Smile," he said. "If they see fear, they die." She forced her lips upward as another gunshot rang. This one into the ceiling. Screams erupted. Guards surged forward. The gunman was tackled, disarmed, dragged away. Blood stained the white aisle runner. The music resumed. Just like that. Luca turned to Eleanor, his expression unreadable. "Shall we?" he asked. She nodded, numb, and stepped forward. Every step toward the altar felt like walking deeper into a grave. As the priest began speaking, Eleanor's mind drifted. Not to love, not to vows, but to a night, 3 years earlier, to another gunshot, and a body lying cold on the floor. Her father died alone. Elena remembered the sound of her phone ringing at midnight. She remembered the police officer's stiff voice. "Miss Rossi, there's been an incident." She remembered running barefoot into the rain, breath tearing through her chest. And she remembered seeing him. Her father lay on the kitchen floor, blood pooling beneath his head. The window was shattered. A robbery, they said. Wrong place, wrong time. But Elena knew better. Her father's hands were clenched, tight, like he'd recognized the man who killed him. At the funeral, she watched strangers stand too close, listened to whispers that stopped when she turned around. That was when she noticed the tattoo, a small black serpent on one man's wrist. She'd seen it before, on a photograph hidden in her father's old drawer. That night, Eleanor tore the apartment apart. She found documents, names, ledgers, a burned passport, and one name that appeared over and over again, Luca Moretti, the man who ruled the city's underworld, the man who ordered executions over dinner, the man who now stood beside her at the altar. "You're shaking." Eleanor snapped back to the present. Luca's hand tightened around hers. "I'm nervous," she said softly. He studied her face, searching. "Nervous is good," he said. "Fear is not." The priest asked if anyone objected. Silence. Eleanor waited, half expecting someone to scream the truth. No one did. "I do," she said when it was her turn. Luca said it next. "I do." Thunder echoed outside as the rings were exchanged. When Luca kissed her, the room erupted in applause. Eleanor tasted blood. She'd bitten her tongue to keep from screaming. 2 years earlier. Elena stood outside a private club downtown, rain soaking her coat. A man blocked her path. "Members only," she lifted her chin. "I'm here to see Mr. Moretti." The guard laughed. Then a voice came from behind him. "Let her in." Luca Moretti stood in the doorway, suit flawless, eyes sharp. He looked at her like he was dissecting a corpse. Inside, music thumped. Men watched her closely. Luca sat across from her, legs crossed. "Why are you here?" he asked. She met his gaze. "I want to work for you." He smiled slightly. "Everyone wants something from me." "I don't," she said. That caught his attention. "Oh, you don't," he repeated. "I want to earn it," she replied. "Not beg." Silence stretched. Luca leaned back. "What's your name?" "Eleanor." "Last name?" She hesitated. Just long enough. "Rossi." His eyes flickered, just for a second. That was the moment she knew. He remembered her father. Life as Luca Moretti's wife was a cage made of silk. Guards followed her everywhere, doors locked behind her. Conversations stopped when she entered rooms, but secrets lived in silence. Eleanor listened. She memorized. She watched men bow their heads to her husband. She learned which drawers stayed locked, and one night, while Luca slept, she opened a safe hidden behind a painting. Inside were files, photographs, one labeled with her father's name. Her hands shook as she read. Informant, liability, execution, approved. Her breath hitched. Footsteps echoed in the hallway. The safe clicked shut. Just as the door opened, Luca stood there, watching her. "You shouldn't touch things that don't belong to you," he said. She forced calm. "I was looking for you." He stepped closer. "You found something else instead." Her heart pounded. He tilted her chin up. "Tell me, Elena," he said quietly. "Did you marry me for love?" His thumb brushed her jaw. "Or for revenge? If you're loving this story already, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss the next part, because things are about to explode." Elena didn't answer. Silence filled the room, thick and dangerous. Luca studied her face like a judge waiting for a confession. "Say something," he said. She swallowed. "You're imagining things." He smiled, but there was no warmth in it. "I don't imagine," he replied. "I confirm." He turned away, poured himself a drink. "You were looking for me," he continued casually. "And yet, you were in my office." "I got lost," she said. He laughed softly. "In my house, with guards every 10 steps. He faced her again. "You're smarter than that." Her pulse hammered. "Then why marry me?" She shot back. "If you don't trust me." That stopped him. Luca took a slow step forward. Then another. "Because," he said quietly, "you don't lie." "Well, when you're afraid." He leaned in. "And fear tells the truth." He left the room without another word. Elena collapsed onto the chair, breath shaking. "He knows," she thought, "or he's close." The next morning, the city woke up to blood. A rival capo was found dead in his car, throat slit. Elena watched the news in silence as Luca adjusted his cufflinks. "Message sent," he said. "To who?" she asked. "To everyone," he replied. "Especially those who think I've gone soft since getting married." She looked at him. "Did marriage make you weaker?" He met her gaze. "No, it gave me something to protect." Her stomach tightened. "Or someone to use," she said. He smirked. "Same thing in my world." Later that night, Elena found herself summoned. 2 guards escorted her into a dim room beneath the house. A man sat tied to a chair, bleeding. He looked up when he saw her. "Elena," he croaked. Her heart froze. "Marco," as she whispered. Marco had worked with her father. "What are you doing here?" she asked. Luca stepped into the light behind her. "I thought you might like to see an old friend," he said. Elena turned sharply. "You did this on purpose." "I do everything on purpose," Luca replied. Marco groaned. "Your father, he tried to save you." Luca raised a hand. "Enough." Elena spun back to Marco. "Save me from what?" Marco's eyes flicked to Luca, then back to her. "He betrayed them," Marco said quickly. "He stole files, names, plans." Luca tilted his head. "And they wanted you dead, too," Marco blurted. "Leverage." Elena felt the room tilt. "My father made a deal," Marco continued. "He gave them information. In exchange, you lived." Luca's voice cut through. "But deals expire." Elena stared at him. "You killed him anyway." "Yes," Luca said evenly. She slapped him. The sound echoed. Guards tensed. Luca didn't move. "You let me marry you," she whispered. "Knowing this." "I let you come close," he corrected. "Big difference." She turned back to Marco. "Who ordered it?" Marco hesitated. Luca's eyes narrowed. "It wasn't Luca," Marco said quickly. "Not directly." Elena's breath caught. "Then who?" Marco swallowed. "Don Salvatore." The name hit like a bomb. The old king, Luca's mentor, the man everyone feared but no one saw. Luca exhaled slowly. So, he said, you finally said it. Guards dragged Marco away, screaming. Elena rounded on Luca. You knew. Yes, and you still let me believe. I let you survive, he snapped. Do you think Salvatore would have spared you if he knew you were digging? So you married me to hide me, she said bitterly. To shield you, Luca replied. And to watch you. She laughed, hollow. You're insane. Alive insanity beats dead. Innocence, he said. That night, Elena couldn't sleep. She replayed Marco's words again and again. Your father tried to save you. She crept into Luca's office again. This time, she didn't search. She waited. Luca entered minutes later, unsurprised. You're not very good at obedience, he said. I didn't marry you to obey, she replied. He closed the door. Then why did you marry me? She stepped closer. To destroy you. He studied her. And now? I don't know, and she admitted. That's honesty, he said. Rare. She clenched her fists. Did my father beg? Luca's jaw tightened. No. Did he cry? No. Did he mention me? Luca hesitated. Yes. Her eyes burned. He said, Luca continued slowly, if she ever comes near this world, you failed. Silence swallowed them. Elena's voice broke. And did you fail? Luca looked at her. That depends what you choose next. The attack came 3 days later. Gunfire shattered the estate at dawn. Elena was dragged from bed as explosions rocked the walls. Stay down, a guard yelled. Luca burst in, blood on his sleeve. They're here, he said. Salvatore made his move. Elena stared at him. This is because of me. No, Luca said. This is because I protected you. He grabbed a gun, shoved it into her hands. Can you shoot? Yes, she said. He paused. Good. A bullet tore through the window. Luca pulled her close. If we survive this, he said into her ear, everything changes. She looked up at him. One of us is dying, he smiled grimly. Probably. Gunfire thundered through the halls. Elena fired without thinking. The recoil jolted her arms as glass shattered and alarms screamed. Guards fell. Others pushed forward. Left corridor, Luca shouted. She ducked behind a pillar as bullets chewed through marble. You said Salvatore wouldn't touch me, she yelled. I said I tried to stop him, Luca replied, firing twice. Both shots landed. Smoke filled the air. A body slid across the floor and stopped at Elena's feet. She stared at it. No time, Luca snapped. Move. They ran. They reached the underground garage as another explosion rocked the house. Cars burned. Men shouted orders. Chaos swallowed everything. Luca shoved her into a black armored car. Drive, he ordered. She slammed the door and hit the gas just as bullets ripped through the back window. The gates burst open. They tore into the street. For several minutes, neither spoke. Then Elena laughed, a sharp, broken sound. This is insane, she said. Yes, Luca replied. That's how you know it's honest, she glanced at him. Salvatore wants me dead because I know the truth. He wants you dead because you exist, Luca said. Your leverage, I refuse to give. She slammed the brakes at a red light. You used me. He met her stare. I protected you. By killing my father. Silence. The light turned green. She drove. They hid in an abandoned safe house by the docks. Luca locked the door, checked weapons, sealed windows. Elena paced. You could have told me, she said. And what? He shot back. You'd thank me? She spun. You stole my choice. I gave you time, he said. Time to grow strong. She stopped pacing. You trained me. Yes. To survive you, she said. To survive them, Luca replied. I'm not your biggest enemy. She laughed bitterly. You killed the man I love most. He stepped closer. And Salvatore ordered your death at 16. Her breath caught. What? Your father stopped it, Luca continued. He paid with his life. Tears blurred her vision. You expect forgiveness? No, Luca said, understanding. A phone buzzed. Luca checked it. His face hardened. He found us. Don Salvatore arrived without warning. No gunfire, no shouting, just a knock. Luca opened the door slowly. Salvatore stepped inside, calm, ancient, smiling. Elena, he said warmly, you look just like your father. She reached for her gun. Luca raised a hand. Don't. Salvatore chuckled. Still obeying him. She ignored Luca. You ordered his death. Yes, Salvatore said. Yeah, and yours. Luca snapped. She was off limits. Salvatore turned. You don't set limits for me. He looked back at Elena. Your father was weak. He loved you too much. Elena's voice shook. And you fear me because of that? Salvatore smiled. I fear nothing. Luca moved. Guards swarmed him instantly. Salvatore sighed. I taught you better. Elena aimed her gun at Salvatore's head. Let him go. Salvatore laughed softly. Shoot me, and he dies. Luca met her eyes. Do it, he said. Her hands trembled. Salvatore leaned in. See, you inherited his hesitation. Something snapped. Elena lowered the gun. Salvatore smiled. Wise girl. Then she pulled the trigger anyway. The bullet tore through Salvatore's shoulder. The room erupted. Luca broke free, firing. Guards dropped. Blood sprayed the walls. Salvatore stumbled back, shocked. You chose him, Salvatore hissed. Elena stepped forward. I chose myself. Luca dragged her out as sirens wailed in the distance. They ran until their lungs burned. When they finally stopped, Elena shoved Luca away. Yeah, you lied to me, she said, over and over. Yes, you made me part of this. Yes, you turned me into this. Yes, he said again. She raised the gun at his chest. Then give me one honest answer. He didn't move. Did you ever love me? She asked. Or was I just protection? Silence. Then Luca spoke. I loved you the moment you didn't flinch at blood, he said, and I hated myself for it. Her finger tightened on the trigger. Say it clearly. I married you to protect you, he said, and I stayed married because losing you would destroy me. She laughed through tears. Too late. Footsteps echoed nearby. Luca stepped back. Finish it. She didn't. Instead, she dropped the gun. Run, she said, before I change my mind. He stared at her. You just chose your ending, he said. No, she replied. I chose my beginning. As Luca disappeared into the night, Elena turned toward the city. Sirens screamed. Empires were collapsing. And she stood at the center of it all. Here is batch 4 of 4. Final. 1,000 plus words. Climactic resolution, plus emotional payoff. Strategic CTA at the end, only no filler. All consequences. Strong ending that lingers in the viewer's mind. Batch 4. Datma 4. She married a Mafia boss to avenge her father's death. The city didn't sleep that night. Sirens echoed from every direction. News channels spoke in frantic voices. Names that once ruled in shadows were suddenly everywhere. Don Salvatore survived the gunshot. Barely. But survival came at a cost. His men were arrested. His accounts frozen. His allies betrayed him before sunrise. And Luca Moretti vanished. Elena watched the chaos from a cheap motel room on the edge of the city. No guards. No luxury. Just silence and a flickering television. She should have felt relief. Instead, her chest felt hollow. Her phone buzzed. One message. Luca, you were right. This world ends. Everything it touches. Don't let it take you too. She stared at the screen until it went dark. 2 weeks later, Elena walked into the courthouse. She wasn't dragged. She wasn't hiding. She walked in on her own. The room buzzed as cameras turned toward her. Mrs. Moretti, a reporter shouted. Did you know who your husband really was? She stopped. Yes, she said calmly. Did you help him? She looked straight into the camera. I survived him. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Inside the courtroom, Elena spoke for hours. She gave names, routes, accounts, secrets no one else could. The prosecutor leaned back, stunned. "You're signing your death warrant," he warned, quietly. Elena nodded. "I signed it the day my father died." That night, Elena returned to the motel. She packed her bag slowly. Her phone buzzed again. "Unknown number. Salvatore will die in prison, so will most of them. You broke the circle." Her hands shook. She typed one word. "Goodbye." No reply came. Months passed. The Mafia empire collapsed piece by piece. Some fled. Some were buried. Some rotted behind bars. Elena changed her name, changed cities. She took a job that paid little and demanded nothing. For the first time in years, no one followed her. One evening, she stood at her father's grave. "I hated you," she whispered, "for leaving me alone." The wind stirred the grass. "I understand now," as she continued. "You didn't save me from them." She knelt. "You saved me from becoming them." Tears fell silently. The knock came at midnight. Elena froze. 3 seconds. 4. Another knock. She reached for the knife under the table. "Who is it?" A familiar voice answered. "Elena." Her heart stopped. She opened the door. Luca stood there, thinner, bruised, alive. "You shouldn't be here," she said. "I know," he replied. "That's why I came." She stepped back, letting him in. Silence filled the room. "You should kill me," he said. "Everyone would understand." She shook her head. "I already buried enough." He studied her face. "You won." She laughed, softly. "No one wins." He nodded. Fair." He turned toward the door. "Where will you go?" she asked. "Somewhere I can't hurt anyone," he said. She hesitated. "You'll never stop being who you are." He met her eyes. "Neither will you." He paused. "But we can choose what we do with it." Then he left, and this time, she didn't look back. Years later, Elena stood on a crowded street in a city that didn't know her name. A woman passed by, laughing. A child ran past, careless and free. Elena breathed deeply. Revenge had brought her into darkness. Choice had brought her out. Some scars never fade, some truths never stop hurting. But she was alive, and the cycle ended with her. If this story kept you hooked till the end, like this video to support deep storytelling. Subscribe for more intense emotional stories. Comment below, would you have chosen revenge or freedom? Your support helps keep these stories coming. Thank you for watching.